We are looking forward to being able to serve the women in the community.
Jewel's Helping Hands set to open up another shelter, where it'll be at and who it'll help. Plus, March Madness officially tipped off tonight. What you need to know about the Stars balling out in the Spokane Arena.
After a rather rainy end to the week, we're talking a warmer, drier weekend ahead and a pretty average end to the month of March.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight for your KREM 2 Night Report. I'm Cody Proctor. We begin tonight with a second suspect arrested in last weekend's deadly drive-by shooting in Moses Lake. U.S. Marshals arrested 18-year-old Matthew Valdez in Beaverton, Oregon. Police arrested the first suspect at a Tri-Cities hospital earlier this week. That shooting from last Friday killed a 14-year-old and hurt 4 others. In the meantime, U.S. Marshals continue to search for a third suspect in that murder. They say they served a search warrant at a Spokane home today. The agency says it's targeting Jose Beltran. He's charged with first-degree murder and 5 counts of assault, among other charges. Police say the reward doubled to $10,000 for information leading to his arrest. Authorities say Beltran should be considered armed and dangerous. Another top story that we have been following tonight, the resignation of Pullman's police chief. The city of Pullman made that announcement this afternoon. This comes after Police Chief Jake Opgenorth was put on administrative leave back in mid-December for domestic violence accusations. Last month, the Whitman County judge denied a request for protection order against Opgenorth, effectively closing a sexual assault case against him. At the time, the judge cited a lack of substantial evidence and found the accuser had omitted key messages from their exchanges. The ruling also denied his request for harassment order, stating both parties attempted to manipulate each other. KREM 2 spoke with Pullman Mayor Francis Benjamin right after the news broke and asked if he was surprised about Opgenorth's resignation.
Surprise that's a hard term. I mean, this has been a long process for everybody, and so you never quite know how things are going to turn out. Or when we initially put him on leave, we were hoping that he'd be able to come back, but this time that he chose to be able to submit his resignation.
The city says Commander Aaron Brashears will stay as acting police chief until a new one's chosen. Mayor Benjamin says their next steps figuring out if they'll look within the department or outside for the next police chief. Let's shift gears right now. After months of anticipation, the NCAA women's tournament officially arrived in Spokane tonight. Thousands of basketball fans and some of the game's biggest stars are right here in town tonight for the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 games. KREM 2 Sports Director Andrew Quinn joining us right now in the newsroom with more on one of the biggest stars whose season was cut short just before arriving here in Spokane. And Andrew, this is news that's had a lot of people talking.
Yeah, good evening, Cody. The entire basketball world was shaken when USC superstar Juju Watkins tore her right ACL early in the Trojans' round of 32 matchup against Mississippi State on Monday. Now her team, led by 2013 Spokane Regional Champion Lindsey Gottlieb, must find a way to overcome her big loss and continue their March Madness run.
The effect that it has on the tournament, I think, is huge. From a competitive standpoint, star power, and I think the USC kids will probably rise to the occasion and play amazing like they did the other night.
Despite losing Watkins, the Trojans remain confident and the goal remains the same, to win a national championship.
This team is locked in on continuing our goals, as Juju wants us to. She's proud of her teammates. She's with us 100% in, mind and spirit. And this team is really focused on continuing our journey and achieving our goals. Their competitive spirit has not been impacted. They're here to win, and they want to win, and we believe that we can win, even though the path looks a little different than it did just a few days ago.
USC will now rely heavily on forward Kiki Iriafen, who won the Spokane Regional in 2022, playing alongside the Hull twins with Stanford.
We're all trying to step up and, have our same roles, but taking on a little bit more as well. And the goals still remain the same. From the beginning, we wanted to win a national championship, and that doesn't change. So we know we're playing a lot more than just, ourselves. We're playing for Jew as well. So I think that's really where our mindset is right now.
There has been a huge outpouring of love and support for Watkins, including from fellow players in this region who have experienced the same injury and long road to recovery.
For Juju, your heart breaks for just the devastation that, especially during the tournament, of not being able to be out there with your team during the most important part of the year. We empathize for her. We've been there, and we know how much it sucks, but you don't get to be as good as Juju if you don't have a great motor, a great work ethic, and she's going to attack this process just as she's attacked basketball, and just as she's great at basketball, she's going to be great at this recovery process.
It's hard, but staying present in the moment, trying to work day to day, not worrying about the future, not worrying about anything you could have done to prevent it, because sometimes things just happen. But yeah, really just leaning on that support system, ask all the questions, and stay present in the moment.
Well, we certainly wish Juju all the best in her long road to recovery. We'll see if the Trojans can get the job done tomorrow when they take on Kansas State. Cody.
Andrew, thank you so much. Now, some of the biggest stars in college basketball took to the hardwood tonight. KREM 2's Caitlin Galloway was down at the Spokane Arena and has more on some of the biggest names coming through Spokane this weekend.
We've been talking all week about how the city and local organizations have been preparing to host the Women's Sweet 16 and Elite 8 Spokane Regional, and it looks like that preparation so far is having a positive impact on some of the biggest names in women's college basketball.
Headlining the most notable names, legendary head coach Gino Auriemma, who has taken his UConn Huskies to 11 national championships, and projected #1 WNBA draft pick Paige Beckers. Their game tomorrow is sold out, and they're grateful for Spokane's support.
See, I've been here for Hoop Fest. It's a great basketball community. They love basketball here. They love women's basketball, so it'll be exciting.
They'll take on the Oklahoma Sooners and standout Oregon State transfer Reagan Beers on Saturday. 3-seed LSU and 4-time NCAA championship coach Kim Mulkey, known for her big personality and her fashion sense, are here too. The Tigers and leading scorer Flau'jae Johnson, who is averaging nearly 20 points per game, are grateful that the anticipation of this tournament field is just another example of the continued growth of women's sports.
When we go to the WNBA, we might not get those multi-million-dollar deals, but think of the high schoolers and the young girls. They're going to grow up and they're going to be having those deals, and it's going to be a whole shift, and it started with something that we're doing.
#1 seed UCLA is also here in Spokane. They're led by Lauren Betts and head coach Corey Close, who Betts credits with improving her confidence on the court. She also sees the best in women's college basketball.
We've been scratching and clawing for that kind of growth for a really long time, and credit to these women in this current field for how they've earned that, and thank you to all the people who've come before us to blaze that kind of trail. But it is truly a special time to be involved in women's basketball, and I just think we're scratching the surface. The best is still yet to come.
We finished up 2 games today. We have 2 more tomorrow, and the tournament runs through Monday. In Spokane Arena, Caitlin Galloway, KREM 2 Sports.
Caitlin, thank you so much. And of course, a big part of March Madness here in the Lilac City has been not just the players coming in, it's also been the fans who are visiting from all across the country to catch their favorite team or their favorite player. We met up with one fan who bought her tickets last year and had planned to attend the game with her mom. Sadly, her mom passed away.
She wanted to be supportive to what I was doing and what my passions were, and so this was exciting. So I'm here now and I'm feeling very fortunate.
Alexander says her mother Ruby was an adventurous spirit, experiencing life to the fullest. In the meantime, let's shift gears to a different kind of March Madness. Our forecast certainly has not been playing around recently. Let's send it over now to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo with more tonight.
A pretty cool shot from earlier this evening over Lake Coeur d'Alene. A little bit of rain came down, and as that rain moved through, kind of marks the end of it. We have our storm sitting off the coast that's been plaguing us the past couple of days, but as that storm continues to lift its way off to the north, we'll finally catch a little bit of a break in the action. A storm moving south to north off the coast is always a hard one for forecast models to get, but as it lifts away, we have a pretty good understanding that what it's going to do is pull with it all of the moisture. So we wind up much drier both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, mix of clouds and sun. Sunday, mostly sunny skies as we catch a break in the action. However, from Sunday to Monday, we get another little wave moving in. And by Monday morning, we're waking up to another round of rain and even mountain snow across the inland northwest. Temperatures, though, stay on the mild side. 53 Saturday, 57 and sunny on Sunday, and rain come Monday.
All right, Jeremy, thank you so much. Let's go now to your night beat for a quick look at today's top stories. Moscow police announced the arrest of a fugitive from Kentucky. 43-year-old Aaron Hypes was wanted for manslaughter, trafficking fentanyl, and being a repeat felony offender. Moscow police say they called in the Latah County SWAT team and arrested him in North Moscow. Kentucky law enforcement contacted them after they suspected Hypes was in the Latah County area. He's now in the Latah County jail tonight. Credit rating agency Moody's upgraded North Idaho College's outlook from negative to stable. We've been covering the NIC accreditation crisis for years now. Until last year, the college faced a potential loss of its accreditation. More stable administration at NIC amid the turmoil drove the update to a stable rating. Credit ratings determine how expensive it is for a company or organization to get a loan based on how risky or safe the investment is. The college welcomed the news, saying it didn't have plans to borrow money in the near future, but school leadership called the move a step in the right direction. And that's your Night Beat tonight. For more of these stories, just head to your website, KREM.com. And next on KREM 2 News tonight, a Spokane nonprofit's opening their 4th shelter, where they're hoping to open up in 90 seconds.